Hello and welcome back. Uh, till the I think During the last few lectures, we talked about we focused our attention on colorimetry, and we saw a whole lot of stuff going on. We saw different types of color spaces. We also saw the method through which we first quantified and measured colors. Uh, we came to know about what is the difference between device dependent and device independent color spaces. We also came to know about some related concepts like color temperature, correlated color temperature, and color difference, metamerism, and all of that. So here we have come to the perhaps one of the final topics that we will be dealing with in the fourth module of PMS2 related to color, that is color management. Now, I think I believe that in modern printing, I mean it's driven by color management, because I believe, and I say this with full conviction, that the quality of your print job is ultimately determined when the plate comes out from your CTP. So there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for you to innovate and do a lot of other stuff or improve the quality of the print drastically when you take the plate and go for machine printing. Although having said that, there would not have been any kind of printing had it not been for machines, industrial grade big machines that we have around us. But yes, the reason why I say this is color management is at the heart, is perhaps one of the core principles that defines the quality that is going to be of your final print. So I obviously kept color management as the last part of your color science topic, because we cannot understand and cannot fully appreciate the beauty and the importance of color management if you do not have a very basic foundational idea about colorimetry, about color spaces, about device dependency of color spaces, and different concepts like profiles and all of that. So I'll be talking about a lot of new terminologies, new ideas in this area, but at the crux, I mean the crux of color management lies, I think, beautifully in this particular statement that I believe really. Ultimately, color management is nothing but to recreate or reproduce. I'm sorry. So this again, yeah. So the core philosophy of color management lies in reproducing the right color first time and every time. So this, I think, is at the heart of what we intend to do with colors when we talk about color management, color engineering, and all of this stuff. What we essentially in graphic arts, what we essentially mean is we want to get the right color. Remember, I did not say perfect color or good color. I did not use those terms. I used a term which is right color. My intention of playing with colors and managing colors and controlling colors, all of this, ultimately my intention is to obtain the right color first time and every time after that. So let me give you an example. I think these examples you have heard from me so many times by now. This, I don't think, is new to you. Consider a very big packaging printer. Packaging is the new booming sector in printing today. So consider, and I think many of you will get into the packaging industry later, package printing industry to be specific, after passing out from this program. So consider a very big packaging printer, right? they have received a job from FMCG giant, okay, and they are printing large numbers of mono cartons on a daily basis, on a monthly basis perhaps. So a new job has arrived at their print shop. The FMCG marketing people and the packaging people, they have come and they have okayed your proof and have signed a contract with you saying that okay, in the first month you give us 2 lakh sheets, right, of this mono carton, or these many units of printed and folded and cut mono cartons, right? So this is a big job for the print shop owner, for the packaging printer, and he puts all his efforts to bringing out the exact right color that matches of the print, that matches with the original, or by original I mean the contract proof. So he has taken enormous amount of painstakingly long efforts, and he has ensured, the print shop owner, the packaging printer has ensured that the print that comes out of the machine, of his machine, matches almost exactly to that of the contract proof. Now, and the job is done, and the print buyer is happy with how the job has turned out to be. So the packaging printer is happy, his customer is happy, everyone's happy. Now, maybe after 6 months, the FMCG giant has got another requirement for, let's say, 10 lakh copies. So the FMCG giant was happy with your package printing operation, so he comes to you and he gives you another order for, but now instead of 2 lakhs he has given you an order of, let's say, 10 lakhs. So the pressure is on you. You have to outperform yourself. You have to, if not outperform, you have to perform exactly by you I mean the package printing operator. So he has to deliver printed sheets having the exact quality as he delivered earlier. Now what do I mean by quality? What do you mean by quality? Your substrate is fixed, your ink may be fixed, everything else is fixed. So what quality are you looking, or what quality is the FMCG person looking from you? Primarily what he looks at, or anyone for that matter, in a packaging, is how the colors are reproduced. So take a big brand like Coca-Cola or Colgate. So everyone in this world perhaps is familiar with Coca-Cola Red. So if there is, if you see a Coca-Cola label having a slightly different version of the red, then you would immediately identify and you will say, no, this is not the Coca-Cola Red that I am used to seeing, so I won't take this product. Maybe this is a fake product, right? So similarly for Colgate Red, that is also a different sort of red, but we are all familiar with Colgate Red. So you as a printer, what is your job? You have to produce the right color, not the best color. So try to distinguish between these two terms. You are not supposed to print the best color. I mean, here there is no this best, good and all of this, these are all relative. Best in respect of what? You should have a reference with whose respect you will print the color with the strongest fidelity. This is what I mean when I say the right color. So your intention is not to bring out the best color that is possible with your printing machine. Your intention or your work is focused in bringing out the exact shade of Coca-Cola Red using your printing operation. Only then your print buyer will be happy, everyone else will be happy. So when you are going to print for a second time a 10 lakh order, you should be doubly cautious, because in the first job you raised the expectation by producing prints that had good fidelity with the original. Here original, by original I mean the contract proof, or what the customer demands from you, right? So your job is not in packaging. We have this concept of repeat orders, right? Because especially in FMCG, fast moving consumer goods sector, they're essentially toothpaste, soap, oil, all of this. So these are fast moving. Every month they will have huge orders for their FMCG giants will have huge orders for their print shop owners. So you have no opportunity to reproduce color which may not match with the contract proof, which the customer is not accustomed, which the print buyer is not accustomed to see. So that is why I said your job as a printer or a print shop owner, whatever it is, your job will be to ultimately produce the right color first time for a new job and every time when you get a repeat order. So when you are asked to reproduce or print 10 lakh copies of 10 lakh sheets of Colgate monocartons, that Colgate red should be exactly as defined by your customer. Now what do I mean when I say defined? What is the definition of color? How would you define Colgate red? What tool do you have till now, till how much we have studied till now? What tool do you have to define what is Colgate red or Coca-Cola red or Borolin green or Mio Amore violet or whatever? What is that single tool or single metric using which you will be able to confidently and correctly define all these unique brand colors? Because remember, for brand colors, getting the closest match to the original is the last word. You don't have any scope to deviate from the original color. So what do I mean by when I say you have to properly define that color? How would you define a color at this stage? You have so many options right now because we have already, very recently completed our discussions on colorimetry. So how would you define? What are the tools available to you? You may define a color by its tri-stimulus value, by its chromaticity coordinates, by its LAB value, by its LCH value, by its LUV value. So these are the tools that are available to you to define a color. Your mission as a printer should be to produce the closest match of the customer's XYZ and through your prints XYZ, right? So when you successfully execute the customer's print order for the first time, your job does not end there. The customer, if happy with you during your first job, he may give you some repeat orders. So that is why managing colors, that is why maintaining the fidelity of color over a number of print jobs, print operations is so essential. So I hope you now understand what the intent or what the purpose of color management is, right? So color management is not meant for reproducing the best color. There is nothing called best color. The purpose of color management is to produce the closest color or the right color which you have been assigned to reproduce through your print. The customer may give you a soft copy. Your job is to first take a proof out of it and ask your customer if he approves of the proof. If he approves of the proof, you sign a contract saying that okay, I'll give you exactly this same type of color in mass scale. So only when you keep your word on this, you have successfully managed colors. That means you have printed colors with fidelity to the contract proof or fidelity to the original here. Okay, so this is what the purpose or this is what the entire motto of color management is. It's not to reproduce the best possible color, it's to reproduce the right color. So now I hope you know the difference between the best. Best here is meaningless. It has got no meaning. But it's not to improve the color of your print job. It's to reproduce it with as good faithfulness to the original as possible. That is the entire purpose or intent of color management. Okay, so yes, we start with a motto, that is right color. Motto or the principle of color management being getting the right color first time and every time. So let me just clear these markings for a second, then I think yeah. So let's just take a look at the 4 images that we have in front of us. Okay, so what do you think? I mean, this is, let us say this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So by the name you may identify this is the same image that has been ultimately, what does this slide show? It shows that this is the same image that has been reproduced in 4 different imaging systems. So in the previous semester, while discussing pre-press repro techniques and conventional photography and all of that, I gave you an idea that image quality is system dependent. This is another very important concept, right? Image quality is system dependent. So the ultimate, by image quality I obviously now mean the nature of color reproduction or color appearance for that matter now. So color appearance depends on the system in which it is being reproduced. So sRGB, I mean, we don't know at this stage what sRGB is. So this may be a unfamiliar term right now. Okay, so we'll discuss this at a later stage. But let me give you an example. This is, let's say, this is an image that you are seeing on a monitor. Okay, on a PC, let us say PC, not a monitor but a PC. Okay, the second image, you have taken the same image and took a printout of that color image using a normal desktop inkjet printer that you might have lying around in your home, right? The third one, we don't know. Again, let us not focus on all these things, foie gras coated and all of these things. We don't know what foie gras coated at this stage is, but we do know what CMYK is. So this might be printed using 4-color multicolor offset printing, right? Using 4 plates and all of that, ink and paper, all of that. And this is the same image when viewed in a, let's say, a Apple monitor. So this may be a PC Windows based monitor, and this may be an Apple monitor, right? So you see here the same image being reproduced in 4 different methods. The first one in a Windows based PC, the second one it is being printed, the image is being printed using an inkjet desktop printer. The third one, the image being printed in a 4-color offset machine, and the fourth one using you are viewing the image using a Apple monitor. So take a close look, just pause the video here for a moment and take a close look at the color of all these 4 images. Although they are the same image, but look very closely here. I mean, apparently it might seem they're all the same, or they're all having the same color, but take a very close look at this 4 pictures. Do the colors exactly look the same? Just pause the video and take a look. No, they do not look the same. They vary from one another in a very small way, but albeit they vary, that is for sure. And we know this. We know why they vary, don't we know? Because, okay, I will not tell the answer, because I think I have discussed this concept of image quality being system driven or system dependent. I have discussed this concept a lot many times. So again, from this slide, my question, from this lecture, my question to you is that why do they differ? So the very simple answer, we have discussed it a lot of times. So just send me a mail so that I can check out who all amongst you could answer the question. So ultimately what do you see, that you have the same image when reproduced in using 4 different imaging systems, they tend to vary in their color. But my question to you is it wanted or unwanted? Is this phenomenon wanted or unwanted? Especially, let me raise you a situation. Your customer has given you a soft copy of the print job, okay? So maybe you are having a Windows monitor or a Apple monitor, whatever you are having. So you will be visualizing those colors, the colors that appears in the print job in that particular monitor. Now, do you think without managing colors, I mean, first of all, we don't know at this stage what managing colors is, I mean, how to manage colors, we don't know that as of now, but let me just give you this situation, that without doing anything, you just you don't have to be an offset printer. You see an image in your computer screen, you attach you install a inkjet printer or a color laser printer to your PC, and you just print that image. Do you think that they will be same? Though they won't be, that is for sure. Now for you it might not be a problem that these 2 images that you see on the screen on paper doesn't match, but it very much matters to a printer, to an industrial scale printer, to the print shop that you are likely to enter after passing out from this program. To you at that stage, it matters whether the print job that the customer has sent you matches with that of the printed output. That is the entire purpose, I think, of managing colors and all of this that I have already explained. So now, with the goal in front of us, let us proceed to find out how we manage colors. Okay, so this is just the introductory lecture in color management. I did not go into a whole lot of detail. I will be talking in great length in the next few lectures on this, how to manage colors, what are the techniques and what is usually done. But in this lecture, I think let us end this lecture over here, giving you a very brief bird's eye view of what color management is, why to manage colors, and the purpose and the goal set in front of us, which we will try to attain in the after completing the next few lectures. Okay, thank you.